you should be a part of the honors program because on your first step into college, you're going to have a group of people that you're going to know. So that's one big thing. You're going to have a community right off the bat.
I joined the honors program because I was looking for more challenge in classes and a way to be a little bit more involved on campus, not just in classes, but also in a community too, and that is what the honors program has provided.
Newman's honor program was a lot more familial based, like you get a lot more relationships and make a lot more relationships with people, and you do a lot more activities and have a lot more classes with like peers.
You just described this community of people that like challenged each other intellectually, which was really attractive. And then you also mentioned a lot of like study abroad opportunities, which I was also looking for.
The games that we play, I think, are super fun. I like that it's sort of big moments in history and we kind of get to act them out, even if it doesn't necessarily end the same way that it did in history. And I think to me, it's my favorite way that I've ever learned anything because it's actually interacting with other people, not just reading out of a textbook.
I would say just to explore your knowledge even more because you're gonna get all of those necessary requirements in college, but it's really figuring out what it is that you like to do and being able to explore that more so in your undergraduate so that when you go on to make your graduate or post-grad plans, you know what it is you want to do and you've had experience in exploring those areas.
Use the honors program to your advantage because it really is a benefit and you really can like meet long-lasting and make good, solid relationships for life.
It's fun. The honors program is fun. It is not just more work. It is not just like added stress. It is fun. You meet a lot of great people, you play some awesome games, you have great traveling experiences. It's fun.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our virtual honors info session. This is the second to last one that we're offering for students interested in applying for the honors program at Newman University for fall of 2025. For those of you that might be out of state, Newman is one of the 3 private Catholic colleges located in Kansas. We're in Wichita, Kansas. We have here tonight a couple of people from our honors program. We have Dr. Kelly McFall, who directs our honors program, as well as Joe Davis, one of our current honors students. So while I'm pulling up the PowerPoint presentation, I will let Dr. Kelly McFall introduce himself, and we'll go through some info on honors so you can decide if maybe honors would be a good fit for you.
Thank you, Georgia. It is great to have a chance to chat with you tonight. I hope that wherever you are, the weather is not too miserable and that you are inside in a warm place and that you're enjoying the start to your spring semester as you think about college. And so I wanted to take this chance to let Joe and I share a little bit about the honors program at Newman with you. I will take a few minutes to go through the what's a program, the 30,000-foot overview. And then I'm going to really give you a chance to talk to Joe because he's living the program now and can probably give you a sense of the student experience better than I can. So this is the mission statement. That is a fancy phrase that just means this is why we're here. Right? We empower high achieving and high potential students to transform society. We build a strong community, hone our academic skills, learn more about our Earth and the people on it, engage with the world outside Newman's campus, and link current students with honors alum and future honors students. Our graduates become active citizens, succeed in their careers, and leave their world a little bit better than they found it. Right? That's our goal. Right? We want you to succeed while you're at Newman. We want you to flourish. We want you to go on to succeed, prepared to succeed in a career that you love, and we want you to change the world. We do that through classes. This is an image from the first day of the Honors Freshman Seminar class. That's a class that everybody takes. They are playing games. They are imagining themselves as Athenian citizens trying to decide whether to surrender to the Spartans who are at the gates or whether they should fight on. And I show you that image because I want you to have the same sense that we have, that the best education is one that's hands-on and engaging and participatory. That looks different in different ways. You might be doing that in the freshman honors seminar, playing games. You might be doing that in a laboratory or an internship. You might be sitting around in a circle talking about something you've read, or in the concluding capstone experience that matches this slide, you might be doing a research project. So all of our students do a senior honors thesis. That's a 2-semester research project working with a faculty member where you get to explore something about the world that you find fascinating. And by the end of your 2 semesters doing it, you should know something nobody else in the world knows. There's lots of ways this happens in classes. The image in front of you is a different kind of experience. It's one that I'm getting ready to do this May again. It's a travel abroad trip. So that image on the left there is of the Berliner Dome, the big cathedral in Berlin. The one in the middle is of our group from 2 years ago at the Globe Theatre in London. And the one on the right of the screen, that is what I'm going to call learning, but is also relaxation. We are on a canal tour of Copenhagen. And we want you to explore your world, whether that's in Wichita, whether that's somewhere in the United States, whether that's Guatemala or Italy or Europe. We want you to learn new skills and become a different person by immersing yourself in a different place. Next slide. Yeah, there you go. The thing about our honors program is that this looks different for different people, right? So we are a small school. We have a relatively small honors program. And we want you to understand, we want to work with you really carefully to make sure that the course you take through the honors program is the best possible course for you. So if you're a science major, you might do something like this, right? The freshman seminar in the fall, your first fall, then launch yourself into a chem lab or case studies in microbiology. As you go on, you might do organic chem or bioethics. But you'll also maybe take interpersonal communications or mindful leadership courses that are going to prepare you to be a good doctor or PA or nurse or something like that. And then culminate with a senior thesis. That looks very different than it would be if you're an education major. In this case, this is probably for a social science teacher, where you take some of those same gen eds, or some different gen eds, Intro to New Testament, the Holocaust and its legacies, but you also take a class called The Exceptional Child, or you work on modern US history through TV and film to prepare you for that career as a teacher the best way you can. Next slide, please, Georgia. So classes are one way, and that's what you would expect. But we also want you to form a family while you're at Newman, a family that supports you and lifts you up and challenges you and enriches you. We believe, and that's not right, we know that you learn better when you belong. So we work really hard to create a space for you to belong and a space where you can work together to explore the world outside the classroom. So what you see here is the logos for the 4 houses that we have. Some of your high schools I know have something like this. The idea is that we want you to get to know juniors and seniors, not just the people you come in with. And so we sort you into houses. And we do a variety of different kinds of activities in these houses. You can go ahead next. Some of these activities are designed, again, to teach you about the world in different ways. On the left is Kay Monk Morgan, the CEO of the Kansas Leadership Center, who came to talk to our students as part of our fall lecture series about how you can make a difference in the world as a college student. She's talking about leadership. On the right, though, that's Monica, and she's helping our students explore the world of taste. And so she's doing a coffee tasting and talking about what it means to have a sense of taste and what you are looking for in coffee and how you might pair coffee and chocolates and what that can teach us about the world around us. Along with those, we do community building activities. So this is a meme contest that we do every year. This tends to be a pretty fierce competition between the houses. That one's pretty generic. The next one somehow reflects the fact that on most of these memes, you can go ahead, Georgia, on most of these memes, somehow they circle around me somehow. So I will not comment on that. You can evaluate those as you wish. But we have fun together, and by having fun together, we learn more about each other, and we establish an atmosphere of trust. Next slide. Yes. We want to take you places, and we want to take you places that are going to give you experiences, but we also want to take you places that are going to give you things on the resume that you can use when you apply to grad school or to a job. These are just a couple of examples. On the right, that's Gabby Altenor. She is now a lawyer. That picture was in New Orleans when she went with myself and another colleague to the conference, the National Honors Conference in New Orleans. She won a scholarship to go. And so we went to panels and she gave presentations. And then at night we walked down to the Gulf and saw the Mississippi and just kind of learned about New Orleans. The slide on the picture on the left is a little different. That's in New York. And in the middle of that picture is Haley Stewart and Riley Doherty, and they are participating in a conference to teach faculty from across the country and actually across the world to teach the games that we play in our freshman seminar and in other places in the classroom. And this is the third part. We want this family to extend to people who graduated before you and who will come after you. So the pictures on the right are some of our alums. That's Pancho and Elena on the top. Pancho ended up getting his PhD in chemistry. Elena used to buy rockets for the Air Force. The picture on the bottom is an entire class of graduates, and Georgia and I thought it would be helpful for you to see the size of the group of people you will be working with in your junior and senior year. And that's the incoming class from a couple years ago. It is very carefully selected in terms of people and size, so it is the people who are the best fit for the program, the people for whom the honors program can most help them benefit, or most help them reach the goals while they have at Newman. And I end with that so that I can invite you to imagine yourself as part of that picture for next year, or maybe the year after that. I don't know when all of you graduate. As part of your new family, as you launch on your new adventure. So, Georgia, would you like me to jump directly to Joe, or do you have questions in the chat that you want to start with?
I don't have any questions yet, but
Okay.
quick plug. If you do submit questions in the chat, they will only come to me and be seen by me, and I will ask them on your behalf in the order they are asked. And for you guys, just for some context, everyone on today's call is a class of 2025 student. They have all applied and been accepted to Newman University for this fall. We have a variety of majors. We have students from Texas, from Kansas. I think we have a student from North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma. And we have students that are thinking about agribusiness, nursing, digital design. We have a couple of bio pre-med students and then a couple of students that are still exploring what they'd like to study, just to have some context. But you guys are welcome to jump into some questions for Joe.
So I will, Joe, I'm about to ask you a question, but while I do that, I will just say that's pretty typical for the honors program. We want a community with a variety of interests who come from a variety of places that will help everybody grow. So Joe, why don't you briefly tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Joe Davis. I'm a sophomore at Newman University this year. I'm currently a bio pre-med major. And just this year, I recently started working as a honors intern, which has been a really great experience so far.
So why did you decide to join the honors program?
Well, I think for me, it was actually a really easy decision. Just during high school, obviously the class sizes are a lot bigger. And heading into college, it gets even bigger, unless in this case it's Newman, and the class sizes actually remain pretty similar, which I think is personally a good thing. But really more than that, I wanted a community to kind of grow with during my college career, and I felt that the honors program was just a really great fit for that. And even further than that, I really just wanted a way to supplement my college experience and really get the most out of it.
Yeah. So tell me what your favorite class experience has been so far in the honors program.
I think for me, the honors seminar has definitely been my favorite class. It's not really a typical class, which I think most students appreciate. But the React and the Past games, you really learn a lot. Everything from soft skills to just historical things. Which being a bio pre-med, I definitely miss the history classes that I took in high school. So that was just really fun for me to kind of get back into in college.
And how do you think being part of the honors program, your bio pre-med, how do you think being part of the honors program is going to help you as a doctor and in med school?
Well, I think for one, with any pursuit in life, it's really about how hard you want to try and really going the extra step, which is something the honors program helps you do. And I think in medicine, burnout is a very common issue. And to really battle that, it's to really find a deeper meaning, something you want to work harder for and kind of inspire to be every day. And it's something that the honors program, I think, kind of not only teaches you, but really encourages you to do in the future. And from that, I really think that I'll be a better doctor in the future.
So I'm going to ask you about the community building stuff in a second. So I'll just preface that by saying to the people on the call, I've got a daughter who's in college in North Carolina. That can be exciting and a little scary at the same time. And so one of the things I really want the honors program to be is a safe space where you can find friends and build community and feel at home, whether that's because you're a few blocks away from Newman or you're a few states away from Newman. So you said you were an honors intern. What do you do?
Yeah, so it's a fairly new role. There's a decent amount to it, but I guess just a brief summary would be that we really plan a lot of the events for honor students, and we kind of act as a communication point between the honors directors and the students. And so right now we're kind of busy planning the events for the spring semester, coming up with schedules, kind of working out the logistics, and then in the spring, hopefully we'll be able to execute them pretty well. So yeah.
So what are a few of your favorite events that you've either been to or planned?
So one that I actually really enjoyed, and actually I thought turned out pretty well, was a trunk junk throwdown. And it's something that we kind of came up with during a couple of our meetings, and we thought that it could be kind of fun. And so we did for the first time this year. And basically what it was you got into your houses. You basically went to your car and got out any junk that you had in it and used it to engineer anything. And this could be a device that, I mean, I think ours like baked things using the sun. Another person did like a scarecrow that was dressed up as McFall. So it was not only funny, but it got pretty creative. But yeah, I think that was definitely my favorite.
And so a lot of those are fun things that where we laugh and we hang out and we get to know each other better. What is one of the things that we're doing in the spring that you're excited about that is more about being curious about the world?
A lot of ours are going along with our honors reads, which I know not a lot of you probably don't know about, but it's called Burning to Change the World. And that has a lot of focus on kind of humans' environmental impact and kind of what they can do to change really just the environment around them in their own cities. And so this semester, we're planning on taking some field trips to the Audubon Society. It's about an hour away. So it should just be a good opportunity to get students out to really learn about just really the nature around them, how humans can really help. And I'm also part of the ecology club on campus. So it's something that's pretty close to my heart and something I really hope students will enjoy this semester.
So the context for what Joe and I are talking about is that we expect all honors students to participate in a set of events, but we give you far more options than you are required to attend. And so the idea is for you to find things that meet your interests and meet your time availability so that you can meet new people and learn new things in a way that makes sense for you. I have more questions for Joe, but I'm going to take a break just a second now and ask George if she has any questions for Joe or if she has any questions for me.
Well, we had a good question in the chat. I don't think I've ever had it phrased quite this way, but does it cost more to be in the honors program? Are there more classes? Do you go over what other students would typically take or pay to go to school? On the contrary.
So the first thing to say about that is that there is absolutely no fee required for the honors program. In fact, most people who attend or who are members of the honors program get a scholarship. It is $1,000 a year. And that is 100 hours you might not need to spend asking whatever customer you have if they want fries with that burger, or whatever job you are doing to help pay for college. There are some technicalities about that I will let Georgia address or refer you to your counselors, but you should get a scholarship for this program. The second part of that is that nobody should take any longer to get through college because they're part of the honors program than they would if they were not part of the honors program. You and I sit down real carefully and plan out something like what you see in front of you. Like I said, it will vary from person to person, to make sure that you can graduate on time. There's two classes that might, in fact, that you would not have to take if you were not in the honors program. That's the freshman seminar and the senior thesis, but they both count for credits for graduation. So they should not lengthen your time here. So that's a fancy way of saying, no, it should not cost you anything. And in fact, you should be able not just to gain insight and wisdom and happy, fun times, but you should also get a scholarship.
I think before we log off today, I'll do a little briefing for everybody, because I know a lot of people on the call today have not considered applying for special scholarships or haven't submitted an application yet. The deadline for those for fall 25 is at the end of the month. So we'll talk about which ones we have available and how you can apply for those. And I can pull up a little visual aid for you. Dr. McFall, we did have another question in the chat, and we do get this one pretty frequently. What does the time commitment look like for the honors program? Either maybe like weekly or throughout the semester? And is it realistic for someone who's going to be a student athlete?
So I'll start with the end question first. Somewhere around a third to a half of our honors students are student athletes. And they persevere through the program and graduate from the program at basically the same rate that non-athletes do. And if being a student athlete is a priority to you, I want to make sure that you can do both and that you can do both effectively. The time commitment. Outside of the classroom, you can count, some people do far more. But people who are doing just what's required, that's probably, I don't know, Joe, 3 hours a month, 2 hours a month, something like that for events.
Yeah, if there's a required attendance of 7, each event's maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
The classes, it really depends. And I'll just be very upfront with you. My job is to make your experience at Newman the best possible experience that you can have, so that you are doing the best possible job meeting your goals as you can. There are times in classes where that means asking you to do more. And if giving you a great experience means asking you to do something more, I'm going to do that. But most of the time, it does not mean do more, it means do better, which we can do by having a bunch of people who are excited about learning in the same classroom, which lets us teach and prepare and interact better. So will it be extra time? Some, but it should be manageable and it should be rewarding, and it should not prevent you from doing other things at Newman that you would want to do. So Georgia is muted. Should I go on with Ask Joe, or are there more questions?
I don't
Or are
have
we
any
getting
more I don't have any questions in the chat currently, so keep
Okay.
going. I'm going to pull up some scholarship info because we have about 5 minutes left.
Okay. So Joe, you know most of the people in the honors program. What would you say the people in the honors program value most about the honors program?
I guess it's an interesting question. I'd say just with how broad all the students are, there's a lot of different majors, different personalities. So what I really think that means is just how flexible it is, and how much support you get. It doesn't really matter your major or what you're studying and what sport you're playing. You'll get a significant amount of help from the people around you, the directors, even the interns. So really just how flexible it is and how much you can really customize your college experience in the honors program, I think is what people really appreciate.
And what surprised you most about the honors program here that you weren't expecting when you applied?
Um, it's actually a lot of fun. Looking at other honors programs at other universities, it can be kind of strict, almost stingy in a way, maybe even elitist. But this is the exact opposite. I think it's incredibly welcoming, but at that same time, it does push you, but it still supports you, and so you just learn a lot. You really enjoy your time in the program, and yeah, it's fun.
Excellent. So I'm looking at the clock and knowing that we promised this would be short. So I'm going to toss it off to Georgia to talk about scholarships, and then I'll say just a final word after she's done with that.
Yeah, so I'm extra appreciative that everybody on the call today has already applied and been accepted to Newman. Congrats. That probably means you've already received some type of academic offer. Usually it's a Newman academic scholarship, anywhere ranging from $10,000 to $16,000 per year. That's your starting amount. That's your base. We do have some special scholarships that students, if they qualify and they're interested in them, can opt in and apply additionally for those opportunities. There's 4 of them total. 3 of them actually are a larger amount that would replace whatever you got at the time you were admitted. So it's not in addition to, it's a replacement. Honors, however, is in addition to. So if you decide to apply, we have a really easy online application that you'll get a link to after today's event. So check your email. And you can log in, and that one application you can use to apply for one or all of our scholarship opportunities. So there are 4. In addition to honors, there's some other ones that you could potentially apply for. And I know we have people on today's call that meet the criteria for this one. So listen up. If you have at least a 3.9 GPA or more, you can actually apply to be considered for our full tuition St. Newman Scholarship. This is full tuition every year for up to 5 years. Each year we take applications from qualified students. We conduct interviews both on campus and on Zoom. There's an essay that you complete, and we award 5 incoming students for each fall, just first-time students like you, one of these full tuition scholarships. There are some requirements to this. If you receive one of them, you are required to live on campus. You're required to complete a certain amount of service hours each semester and maintain a certain GPA. So in addition to the application, which does require that you attach a resume and a picture for our Scholars Luncheon, there's also an interview day where you interview with faculty and you sit down for a timed essay. Last year, we had 47 students who qualified and completed the process. So we awarded 5 full tuition St. Newman scholarships out of that. And the really nice thing is that if you qualify and you interview and you go through the whole process for this, but you're not one of the 5 selected, you're automatically given the Monsignor McNeil Scholarship that's valued at $20,000 per year. It's not full tuition, but it would still bump you up to $20,000. And the only difference is that you wouldn't be required to live on campus unless you're from out of town, and you would be required to live on campus anyway. This one's pretty big, but a lot of the students that apply for this are a fantastic fit for the honors program. So I would also encourage you to apply for the honors program. However, because this one's so big, you can't actually utilize and stack on the honors scholarship, but you can still be in the honors program, which a lot of them are. This one, Monsignor McNeil, does actually allow you to stack honors for $1,000 on top of it if you also apply for honors and get in. The other one that we have that doesn't require as high of a GPA, it requires a 3.0, and this is for people that are really big into community service, volunteerism, leadership, and you want to continue doing that while you're at Newman. This one is the exact same application, picture, resume, interview, and then you have some certain requirements like service hours and a particular GPA to maintain. But the honors program has a $1,000 scholarship that can be added with your existing academic offer on the Monsignor McNeil, most often with athletics, not in every case, and also the ASC Service Award. We do prefer, and Kelly, I'll let you talk to this, that you have at least a 3.7 GPA or more. Currently, we're admitting students based on self-reported information. So if you've self-reported a 3.7 or better, we'd love to have you apply for the honors program. Once you're in the program, we do ask that you maintain a 3.5 at the collegiate level, so you need to be prepared for that. But Kelly, are you interested and open to reviewing people for the honors program that have less than a 3.7 GPA?
Yeah, so I often get asked what criteria am I most interested in for honors students, and honestly, that criteria is curiosity about people who are excited about exploring the world. We want people to care about their studies and to do well, but that 3.7 is a baseline, and if you don't quite meet that, but you are really excited about the opportunity to participate in a community of people who explore their world inside and outside of the classroom, apply and come to, I think George is going to mention this in a second, come to the date in February where you have a chance to come and learn more about the program and have us learn more about you and see if it's the right fit for you.
Yes, we do have 2 scholarship interview days. They're identical days. Unfortunately, we're not taking RSVPs for the one this coming Saturday anymore. But if you get in an application by January 31st, which is our final date that you can submit, our next scholarship interview day is Saturday, February 22nd. And we would love for you to come to that one. We start with honors assessments. We do a little honors game in the morning. Like Kelly discussed, they do role immersion games-based classes as a part of the program. We'll do one of those in the morning. We'll have an honors info session. We'll join up at lunch with everybody else that's coming to the day. And we'll have interviews, one-on-one financial aid appointments, tours, and a bunch of other activities in the afternoon. If you're out of town, which most of you are, we do offer Zoom appointments in the afternoon on that day. And typically interviews only take about 20 minutes. Honors doesn't actually require an interview, but if you'd like to Zoom into the info session in the morning, we can definitely make that happen. Kelly, it's all yours. Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, so I don't want to take too much of your night. I'm a little terrified that some of you actually have homework this early in the semester, maybe not. Joe is smiling because we haven't started classes, and so he doesn't have anything to do yet. But I just wanted to say thanks for joining us and to say we'd love to give you a chance to learn more. So I would invite you to talk to Georgia, to talk to me. You'll be getting emails from us so that you can contact us. We will get you set up with a current student if you would like to talk with a current student, whether that's texting or even actually making a phone call. You are welcome to come to classes this spring. They're not ready yet. It will be a couple of weeks before we're actually launched into the semester in a way that coming to a class would be meaningful, but we'd love to have you come join a class. And if there's any other way we can help you decide whether the honors program is right for you, just let us know and we will do it. And that is, I think, the right criteria. We want you to be part of the program if this is the right way for you to meet your goals. And we want to do the best possible job we can do working with you to meet those goals. And if that's something you want to explore, we would love to have you apply, and we would love to have you join us. So thanks so much for spending time with us. I hope that we see applications from you all and maybe see a bunch of you either on Zoom or in person in February.
Thanks all. Check your email tomorrow for the link to the honors application, and you can read up and get more information. We hope to see an application from you. See you later. Have a good night.